If you've ever been told to calm down and you feel your whole body get tense, yeah. Because a lot of keep calm culture isn't about emotional health, it's about emotional convenience. Here's my take, and I'm gonna keep coming back to it. Calm is a state. Regulation is a skill. I'm not dismissing calm. Calm can be what your nervous system has been begging for. What I'm pushing back on is the way we treat calmness like the proof of wellness. And if you're watching this thinking, okay, but I really do want to be calmer, I'm with you. I'm not here to shame you for wanting relief or a sense of peace. If you're new here, I'm Elizabeth, founder of Heart on the Rise and an emotional wellness coach. I'm here to give you a better target. No diagnosing, no always or never, just clean language and a more honest map. Let's define terms, because vagueness is where misunderstandings happen and people get stuck. Calm is a temporary emotional state. Your system feels more settled and low threat. Emotional regulation is your ability to move through emotions, gather information, and come back to center over time to act on the situation, rather than getting stuck, overwhelmed, or shut down for long periods of time. Regulation isn't I never get upset. Regulation is the ability to feel anger and still connect to your values, to feel grief and still connect to your life. It's important to distinguish emotional regulation from calm, because as a society, we conflate the two all the time. Even when you Google emotional regulation, so much of the language that comes back is staying calm, keeping cool, maintaining composure. And that's not regulation, that's an appearance. When calm becomes the standard people are rewarded for, a lot of folks don't actually become calm. They become numb. They learn to suppress, avoid, dissociate, look composed. And from the outside, that can look like maturity, but internally, it can feel like anger with nowhere to go, anxiety that doesn't resolve and keeps you stuck, sadness that turns into shutting down. So here's the issue. A calm demeanor isn't a sign of emotional health. Sometimes it's a sign of a system that learned early that emoting wasn't safe. I used to think that appearing calm meant that I was doing it right. Like if I could stay composed, then I was mature or confident. But most of the time, I wasn't calm. I was disconnected and managing the room. And if that's you, if you've been praised for being easy or chill or low maintenance, I just want to say that there's nothing wrong with you. You might have gotten good at surviving. This part is extra uncomfortable because we all do it. A lot of calm down moments aren't actually about helping the other person regulate. They're about the speaker trying to regulate themselves. Someone else's emotions can feel like danger, conflict, loss of control. So we reach for the fastest tool we have. Stop feeling that. And the problem is, telling someone to calm down usually escalates conflict. Not because calm is bad, because invalidation is like gasoline. Here's a quick self-check. When you're about to say calm down, ask yourself, am I trying to support them? Or am I trying to make this easier for me to be around? And it can absolutely be both. And if it is, which statement do you think is more likely to be true? And by how much? If you realize you're the one who's overwhelmed, even by a little, that's not shameful. That's information that you can act on. Keep calm culture prioritizes performance over people. Even if the keep calm and carry on poster is an old World War II artifact that got rediscovered and memeified in the early 2000s, the sentiment is everywhere. It can show up as, be the bigger person. You never know what they might be going through. You're overreacting. Let's keep it positive. And a lot of the time, what it's really protecting is performance, productivity, order, other people's comfort, more than it's protecting the actual human experience happening in front of us and within us. When calm becomes a requirement to be respected, we don't get healthier, we just get quieter. What this looks like in real life and relationships, when calm is the entry ticket to being heard, people start editing themselves. Over time, needs go unspoken, resentment builds, intimacy drops. If you've ever thought, I don't even know how to bring things up without it becoming a whole thing, that's not a character flaw, that's a skill gap, which means you can learn how to communicate better. You're not doomed. At work, workplaces all over the world reward emotional suppression as professionalism. So the person who appears composed, aka calm, regardless of what's happening internally, gets treated as competent. And the person whose emotions are visible during times of pressure or stress gets treated as a problem. If you're navigating that, it makes sense that you would default to shutting down. You're not weak, you've just adjusted to the situation. Here's the third option. Regulation creates adaptability. Calm helps you rest. Both matter, and neither is a moral achievement. Here's a small shift that you can try this upcoming week. When you notice yourself defaulting to calm down with someone else or with yourself, swap it for one of these. I need a reset. Let's take a 5-minute break and come back to this. What would help you right now? Maybe comfort, solutions, or space? How can I help you stay present with this? And if you don't know the answer to that yet, it's okay. That's literally part of the work. If this landed, I'm curious, what part do you agree with? What part do you not agree with? Where has keep calm helped you? And where has it silenced you? And if you want support building real regulation, not just looking calm on the outside, I can help. Learn more about what's possible inside Harder on the Rise. You're not alone. Let's rise together.